Complete each ordered pair so that it is a solution to the equation x plus 2y equals negative 6. So we're basically trying to find some x and y values that will make this equation true, or some solutions. So the first one says, okay, if my x value is 2, what does my y value have to be in order for this to be a solution? Because what you got to keep in mind is every single x value will have a y value that goes with it that will solve this equation. So we just got to find it here. And the way you find it, you may have guessed, is you're given what the x value is, but you don't know what the y value is. Well, take the equation and substitute what's given. You're given a 2. So in place of x, I'm going to plug in a 2. 2, I always use parentheses, plus 2y equals negative 6. So what we're going to say was, let's figure out what the y would be. So we'll do some simple arithmetic that you've learned before. Let's solve for y. Minus 2 minus 2, we're going to get 2y equals negative 8. Divide by 2 on both sides, and you're going to get that y has to be negative 4. So here's what we're saying. Now that we determined that the y value has to be negative 4, we've determined that this is a solution to that. If you want to check it, watch. Plug in a 2 for x, plug in a negative 4 for y. 2 plus 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. 2 plus negative 8 equals negative 6. Works perfectly. Let's do the others. Whoops. Let's go over here. In this particular case, we're being asked, what is my x value if my y value is a negative 3? So in this case, we have to figure out this coordinate, the x. Using the same equation, we're trying to solve the same equation but find a different point. So not a big deal. In this case, we're going to substitute a negative 3 for the y. So we leave the x alone because we have to figure out the x. Think about it like that. 2 times negative 3, my y value is negative 3, equals negative 6. So our job is to figure out what the x value is going to be. So this is the same thing as x minus 6 equals negative 6. Or if you'd like, you could put x plus negative 6. It's the same thing. But right here it's going to become minus 6 when you multiply. So to solve for x, let's just add 6 to both sides here. And we're going to get that the x value is negative 6 plus 6, which is 0. So if the y value is negative 3, our x value has to be 0. And think about it. See if it works. Try it. Plug in a 0 for x and a negative 3 for y if you're not sure you did this right. 0 plus 2 times negative 3, which is negative 6. 0 plus negative 6 equals negative 6. Perfect. And finally, we're also given another x value, and we're being asked to find the y partner for it. Remember, every x value will have a matching y value to satisfy the equation. So we take the x, and in place of this x here, we're going to write a negative 8. We need to find the y value for it, so we're not going to plug in anything for y. We're going to figure that guy out. So we're going to put plus 8. We're just going to do simple equations, what you did in chapter 3, or depends what book we're using right now. Add that, it's a 2. Divide both sides by 2. We're going to get that the y coordinate has to be a 1 if my x coordinate is negative 8. Now if you were to plot all of these points on a grid, you would see that all of these points would fall along the same path.